Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome. Today we have Valeria Schmidt, and she is the pastor at the Trinity Church of Northborough. And we are going to talk about the Faith Fair for Kids that they had in March. And I read about this in the newspaper. I thought this was outstanding. Valeria, welcome. Valeria, welcome.
Thank you.
And she told me that they had about 100 people, right? And there were children and their parents there representing the Christian faith. And B'nai Shalom was there too, the Jewish faith. Muslims, the Sikhs, Hindus, Universalist Unitarian. That doesn't surprise me. They're for everybody. My parents were married in a Unitarian Universalist church. It was pretty fair. I mean, they just, why not? And they did that.
And Zen Buddhists were there as well.
Huh?
The Zen Buddhists were there
Oh,
as well.
you had the Zen Buddhists.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that must have been. Did each group have a chance to speak about their belief?
What we did, that's why we called it a fair, is we gave each group a table because we wanted it to be open for people to come and go as they were able. It was for 3 hours in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So each group had a table where they could speak to the people that came to their table. They had some props or symbols, games, snacks, anything that they wanted to bring. And so they could spend as much time with the people as they wanted to.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a formal presentation. It was kind of more people came and looked at everything or chose the religions that they were most interested in.
Children through grade 8 should be accompanied by an adult. Kids and young adults through grade 12 are welcome. And there were crafts.
Yes. So when we invited the participating religions, we said, bring anything that's engaging and hands-on for children, because that's how they learn, when they have fun. And so there were puzzles, there were other games that people brought representing their faith or their culture.
Yeah.
Just to give the kids something to occupy themselves
How
with.
did you get this together? How did you get everybody to want to come?
Well, the idea came about because we have a staff person who's our Christian education director, so she directs our own religious programming, and she's been posting about our church on Facebook because she's very excited to be there. And so she got the question from a parent saying, would you ever consider doing something about other religions as well? Obviously, our goal mostly is to educate our own children or the community about the Christian faith, but we also realize in this day and age how important it is to know about other faiths and to overcome some fear that might be there. So we took that suggestion and we ran with it. And I have some connections to the other faith communities because I've been involved in other interfaith activities. And so I reached out and they were all willing and eager to participate. And then they also helped us get the word out to their own communities so that we had the community of Northborough, but also people, from the Hindu community or the Muslim community and from Worcester and all the surrounding towns. So it was just a beautiful mix of people.
Did it take long to get this off the ground?
It really didn't. The idea came about last fall, and then we were busy in the fall getting our own programming going, and so I think early this year we looked at it again and tried to find a date that might hopefully work for people, and then we just started to plan a little bit of the details. How exactly did we want to go about it? And I had a team of volunteers that were very motivated and excited to work on it, and it was easy, in my opinion.
You got a big hall, too.
Yeah, and we filled that hall.
How many tables with the different cultures?
Each table, each culture or religion had one, so 7 total.
That's a lot.
And then we offered them to create a little square that we had available for them with either a symbol of their religion or their language or something about unity and faith and peace. And then one of our volunteers created a quilt out of that.
Oh.
So that's currently hanging in our hall.
Okay.
And then it's going to move to each of the other religions so they can display it in their
You're going to
building
pass
as
it
well.
along. And who made it again? Who made that?
A volunteer from our church sewed it together. Yeah.
About all the different faiths.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that car sticker that says coexist, and it's got the different religious things. I think that's pretty fascinating.
Group that meets at Congregation B'nai Shalom, I think. And I had a contact person through another interfaith group that I was active in.
Right.
that's based in Westboro. So that's how I had there's a lot of Indian people living in Northboro and Westboro.
Definitely.
And so we definitely wanted to invite them as well.
Well, Temple B'nai Shalom is very, very generous. I mean, one time I went there, Indian guru had flown in from somewhere, and they opened up the temple, the synagogue, for the Indians and anybody else who'd like to come in and listen to him talk, and then chanting, and it was packed. I thought that was very generous.
Yes, they are.
It was packed. And if you have a church, temple, synagogue, whatever, you're thinking, who's coming in? Not nothing to do with their culture, but will everybody be polite enough not to litter, or stuff like that? And I think everything worked out very, very, very well. What got you interested in this in the first place? First of all, into being a minister.
Well, it's a complicated story. I just always had a personal faith in God, and never really doubted God's presence in my life. And I was interested in philosophy and thinking about the big questions, what's the meaning of life and why are we even here? And I also always had an empathy for people, and so being a pastor just brings all of those interests together, because I can, put my own faith to good use. I get to work with people from all walks of life and all ages, from infancy through death and dying. I get to celebrate their joys and be with them during their times of trouble, and that's a real gift to me. And I get to still think about and talk about what I believe the meaning of life is, or wrestle with that. I don't think I have all the answers, but I like to ask questions and encourage other people to ask questions as well, and just think about the purpose behind it, because that I'm certain of, that there is a purpose and a meaning to it, and there's good in the world as well. I believe that, and in people.
We need to believe that.
We need to believe that.
We need to doubt. Were you raised in a Trinity church? How were you raised? In which denomination of Protestantism?
Well, I'm originally from Germany.
Okay, I have German in my family.
And it's a little, they don't have the denominations the way that we have them here, but it's probably close to the United Church of Christ.
Okay.
And then I was introduced to the American Baptist tradition.
I know in my family, it was something that amazed me. We had 2 or 3 Baptist ministers from way back in the 1800s, I think, and we've got one about my age now. I think he's in Florida. It's pretty interesting when you go back. You had the French Huguenots, and they were the Protestants of France,
Right.
and they broke with Catholicism. Then you have in Ireland, you have the Orange Irish, who broke from the Green Irish, who were Catholic, and they went into Protestantism. It's so interesting to see the way the different religions, and of course Unitarianism, they accept, I guess we all accept, but they have everybody from all over the lot who really aren't too sure, I'm not too sure about this and that, so they're all welcome. You could be atheist, you could be whatever over there, but were your parents, did they raise you strictly in the environment?
Not strictly, but my father was Catholic, my mother was Protestant, so I was exposed to both.
Yeah.
And we moved around a lot because of my father's profession, so I didn't grow up in one particular church, but I was, raised in a Christian home.
Right.
But for me, it's not so much about the tradition as it is about what it means today. And I'm a little more, I don't stick to one particular church denomination, my thinking probably identifies best with the United Church of Christ and the American Baptist churches, but I don't think faith or truth is limited to one particular denomination.
Yeah, it's like take what you like and leave the rest,
Right, and for me it's, focus on what Jesus actually said and did, and that's my guideline.
How can people get in touch with you, Valeria?
Well, we have a website, trinitychurchnorthboro.org. We're also on Facebook. If you search Trinity Church of Northboro, it should come right up. And my contact information is on that website. Email is probably the best way to get in touch with me. And I'd love to talk to anybody who's interested in hearing more.
What time are your services on Sunday?
Our services are Sunday at 10 a.m.
Why are Protestant and all the churches, it seems to call the Christian churches, it's so early in the morning for a lot of people are either sleeping or they're, I like it when they have another one like at night. That makes it so much easier.
Right. We've talked about that, and it's so hard to balance everyone's needs.
Yeah.
You know, some people like to be sort of out early and then be done and have the rest of the day for them to go to lunch or do whatever. Other people would like a late morning service.
Sure.
Other people would prefer an evening service. Churches don't always adapt as quickly as one might like.
Yeah.
So there is, and there's value to kind of routines. And so when 10 o'clock is just the time that a lot of people are used to, so we haven't really seen the need to change that. But I hear what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying, that life is different now. People's lives are different, and
Maybe
we need
1
to,
o'clock, maybe 11:30, 1 o'clock. I think when I was growing up, there was one at 11. My parents used to send me to Sunday school. Like a lot of kids, I'm like, I don't want to go. But
well, we try to offer it in a way. We don't call it Sunday school anymore. We call it Faith Foundations, and we try to offer something that kids do want to come to.
They do want, yeah, because nowadays they make it fun. I mean,
Right.
crafts and things like that. When I went, it was just sit there and listen. It's like, oh. We are talking with Valeria Schmidt, and she is the pastor at the Trinity Church of Northborough. And I had seen the article, I don't know where I read it, that in March they had the Faith Fair for kids. This is amazing. Tell us what each symbol means, Valeria, along the side.
So on the top we have the star that represents the Jewish religion, and then this is the symbol for the Unitarian Universalist tradition. This is the symbol for the Sikhi faith. This is the cross for the Christian tradition, which we represented. This is the moon and star for the Muslim faith. This is the symbol for the Hindu faith, and then this is the symbol for Zen Buddhism, who were also represented.
Do you know, I believe there's a Buddhist monk over in Grafton, off of Route 140. Have you heard of that?
I did not.
Yeah, they have, but they'd be interested. They have you go up and they have like this big cabin in the forest. People go up there and do, I guess, meditation. That's pretty sure there's Zen Buddhists up there. Are you going to have another faith fair?
We definitely plan on having another one next spring because it was so well received. People
Okay.
were so grateful, and we heard from a lot of people that weren't able to come that day but definitely want to. So
Next year.
we plan on doing it again.
Yeah, next year. Let's see, it was from 2 to 5 p.m. That's a good time on a Saturday. 2 to 5 p.m. Was there food? Any snack? Oh, it says
Yes.
snacks.
Some of the groups brought their own snacks, which people really enjoyed trying different
Yeah.
foods. But with kids, sometimes they're not as happy to experiment. So we also had some regular American snacks for the kids that preferred those.
The Trinity Church in Northborough, if you know Route 20, go over the train tracks, heading for Marlborough, say. And the Northborough Library has got a cross from Trinity Church, was on Hudson Street?
It's on the corner of Main and Hudson Street. Yes.
You can't miss it. Beautiful, big, white church. When was it? Was it
1848. is when it was built.
1848. And it was always that church, a Trinity Church.
It was the Congregational Church
Yeah.
originally,
Yeah.
and the Baptist Church was down the street from the library. It now houses the Historical Society,
Yeah.
and those two congregations merged in 1948
Yeah.
to form what is now called Trinity Church.
Before you came to Trinity Church, you were serving somewhere else?
Yes,
Where were you?
in Pennsylvania.
You were. What town, city in Pennsylvania?
Near Chambersburg, it's south central Pennsylvania, close
Anybody
to
of
the Maryland
Swarthmore?
line.
Swarthmore at all?
No.
No, not near there. And so you heard about this position in Northborough. It sounded good, and you thought you'd apply. Were you pretty excited?
I still am. It's
Yeah.
a wonderful place to
How
be.
long have you been there now?
I've been there for 4 years.
Wow. They have a really cool section in her church where you can actually, it's like a little library. It's a free borrow or whatever library. I found that, and I really enjoyed that. Anytime you have literature up there and things that people could take and read or whatever, I love that. I wish more churches would do that. I think it's a really, is there any plans for the church coming up that you would like to see? Any like goals or muses?
Well, we have been focusing on our children and youth
Yeah.
to reach out to the community more and invite children and youth to experience Jesus and experience community.
Mm-hmm.
We also do a lot of outreach. We try to support other communities that are struggling. We work with Habitat for Humanity. There's a property just next door that we sold to Habitat, or gave to Habitat for Humanity, that they turned into condos. And that people have now moved in, that we're very
The
excited
affordable habitat.
about. Affordable, yes,
Okay.
correct.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because like most condos, I don't know if these do, they have that doggone HOA monthly high fee to take care of these
No,
don't.
no.
Who takes care of the lawns? Do people living there?
I would assume so. I don't even know
Great,
that, to
I'm
be
all
honest with
for
you.
it.
But yeah.
Really, because the yard isn't going to be, you take care of your little world, your section of the yard. That's a whole lot less expensive than
Right.
paying the other one. And I'm so glad. How many families are in there?
Four families.
That is terrific. That is, I wish we had more things like that. I really do. Do you think that many of the other religions, the faiths, will be coming to maybe be guest speakers and share that way more? Or you think you use the venue that you used before?
Well, our goal was to do it for children,
Yeah.
and I don't believe that a speaker is necessarily a great way to
Not
keep
for
children's
the kids, but
attention.
how about for adults?
Well, because we asked that younger kids be accompanied by an adult, they came. Some
Yeah.
of their parents came, and they asked me questions. They stayed at the tables and listened, so they learned a lot too. They got a lot out of it too. I mean, the people were willing to have a conversation with you, so whatever question you wanted to have answered, you could ask. And I
Yeah.
think that's a good way to learn, because that way people actually get to participate and not just sit and listen to
I
something.
wish I had known. It came and passed. I would love to see something like this twice a year. Why not? And were any of them did not hesitant to come, right? The different cultures you need.
No, they were all very willing to come. It wasn't, at first, it wasn't easy for scheduling purposes to actually find someone that was available.
Yeah.
Because, for example, the Jewish community has their services on Saturday, so that was
Yeah. Friday night too. Yeah.
right. But no, they were all very willing to come. They were all very happy to be there, and all said that they wanted to do it again.
And think good. That is, you think now? I can't think of any other religion. Can you that you would add to it?
We thought about the Quakers, but they are by nature more contemplative, and
Yeah.
they may not actually have a lot that they can present in that way. So they did not respond
They didn't.
to an inquiry on my part. But that's understandable. And if there's any other religion out there that we have missed, please contact me.
Definitely.
We'd love to include you.
That would be one. And you got room. That's a nice hall.
Yeah, we do.
Definitely not. Again, before we close, Valeria, how can they reach you?
We have a website, TrinityNorthborough.org. And we also have a Facebook page. If you search Trinity Church of Northborough, you'll find us there, and my contact information is on the website.
At their Faith Fair for Kids, which was last March, there'll be another one. They had the Christians represented, B'nai Shalom, the Jewish people, Muslims, Sikh, Hindu, Unitarian Universalist, and Zen Buddhist. I mean, that is absolutely fantastic. I mean, that you must have been so excited.
I was very excited. It was a lot of fun, and it was just, at the end, because it was kind of a coming and going, we didn't have everybody at one time, but the people that were still there at the end, we sang a song together, Peace, Salam, Shalom, which means peace in Hebrew and Arabic. And that was just such a beautiful moment because music just brings people together.
Yeah.
And they just really celebrated that. And
I didn't know that the Muslims said Shalom. I know that the Jewish faith, they do.
no, Salam is the...
And the Jewish faith says Salam also?
They say Shalom.
Shalom. So they were
Yeah.
saying Salam, and they were saying Shalom.
Well, the song is Peace, Salam, Shalom. It's all three.
I thought Shalom. When you go to a Jewish service, they say Good Shabbat on a Friday night, and Shabbat Shalom. What does that mean?
Right.
Shabbat.
It means blessed Shabbat or peaceful Shabbat.
I love the different things. I know when I took Hindu meditation, I might not know exactly what the words meant, but I began to sing in the group in Hindi, the chanting. It kind of came after a while, hearing it so much and so relaxing. It was great. It was really, really good. Do you have meditation classes over there at the church?
We don't. Meditation has recently found its way into Christianity. It's not, part of our traditional practices. So we offer Bible studies, we offer prayer groups, and other discussion groups. We also have a coffee house that's on the second Friday of each month with an open mic. So if anybody who has a song or a poem or anything that they want to share, just come. And there's coffee and treats.
Do
and
many
it's-
people come to the cup?
Yes, it's very popular. We have teens, we have adults.
Oh, it's on Friday nights.
It's on Friday, the
Because
second
I know
Friday
a-
of the month.
I know of a musician. Actually, he
Yes.
is the creator of the theme song for this program.
Oh.
Gary Blanchard. He also has a television program. You might love to have him come. He writes all his own songs. So it's Friday nights. What time?
It's from 7 to 9,
Okay.
the second Friday of the month, but we're on break now for the summer.
Break till September?
Well, September is Applefest in Northborough, so we'll focus on that. We'll have some music there for Applefest. I think October 11th is the next actual coffee house.
Okay, so it's every Friday. Oh, no, it's the second Friday.
Yes.
7 to 9. They're breaking till October 11th. It's called the Cafe, just Cafe?
It's called Third Floor Coffee House because originally we had it on our third floor, but the third floor is not accessible for people with disabilities, and it's also a smaller space.
Yeah.
So we've been doing it on the ground floor, but we've still been calling it Third Floor Coffee House because that's what their Facebook page is also called, and that's how we started out.
Can people look this up online?
Yes, they can.
Third Floor Coffee House in Northborough. Okay, so you have guitarists, you have people come.
We have people singing, keyboard, ukulele.
And it doesn't
Anything.
have to be religious. It could be just
Oh, no.
Anything that they get. Okay.
Yes, it should be positive and
Oh, it's very
appropriate
enlightening. Yes, it's
for
terrific.
kids because we do have kids there.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't have to be religious. Any kind of music just brings people together.
Is there a fee to get in or no?
There's a suggested $5 fee, maximum $10 for families.
Okay, very good. I think this is for Valeria Schmidt, and she is the pastor at Trinity Church of Northborough. She is instrumentally, or whatever, what's the word? Instrumented something, somebody, brought together the faith fair for kids, and there were all the different faiths, and the parents came to. They're going to do it again next year, next spring. This was her flyer. Shows you all. She had explained to me some of them, the different faiths, and in this day and age, I think we need this definitely, right? Thank you for doing this. Thank you for being here with us,
My pleasure.
and we'll see you next time and be my guest.
Riding on a shooting star, heading out toward a dream.